Hi and welcome to the first episode of my junk journal series, Pianola rolls. Today we're going to cover what they are, a little history, a show and tell, and show you how to use them and prep them for your junk journals. Let's get straight into it. In front of us we have a selection of pianola rolls. So what exactly is a pianola roll? These are long strips of paper with tiny holes punched into them. Over 100 years ago, they were used in a piano player, also called a pianola, to play music automatically. No musician needed. The holes in a pianola roll let air pass through a tracker bar, triggering the piano keys automatically to play a full song. And they were most popular from the late 1800s to 1920s and 30s. Their use declined after the rise of radio, phonographs and recorded music. Here's a closer look. See these holes and grid-like pattern? This is what gives each roll its charm. You can cut them into strips, use them as backgrounds, layer them with lace and ephemera, or even fold them. Some rolls even have music printed on them. Others have just plain perforated paper. Each different brand of pianola rolls has different type print and also different headers. Let's take a look at the words on some of these. Now the words, you don't read them from the top down, you read them from the bottom up. Let's have a look at the headers next. Some of the rolls have ornate headers with elegant fonts, scroll work, or tiny music motifs. Even without a brand name, these patterns add sophistication and a visual interest to your journal pages. They also have great little tabs on the end, and also the stamps that you'll find attached to them are gorgeous. And also they come in all different shades or geometric boxes. They are great for adding structure and contrast to your journal layouts. These tabs on the ends are perfect for making interactive elements for your journals also. The more common ones in Australia are the Master Touch music rolls, which are these brown headers. They're very decorative, they are quite lovely. I do find that they usually have more than one stamp on the brown Master Touch rolls also. Next up, we'll look at the boxes that they come in. Don't discard those. I've got lots of plans for those to show you also. These come in many different colours, formats. Some are embossed. This is the Master Touch roll box. This next one is also a Master Touch roll box, but it has embossed circles on it. These have so many uses. They also have labels on the end. The boxes will come with a label on the end also. If you read this label carefully and you see the words word roll, it means that the words are printed on it. And that was so people could sing along with the song. But this also adds interest to your journals. Not all pianola rolls have words printed on them. It is definitely one of the things I do look for when I am purchasing pianola rolls to use in my junk journals. I also look for the different colours. This one's a beautiful brown texture. It also has large stamps, large labels, totally different style. And this one also has a totally different style of printing on it. It has like the green text on it. Also, the perforations of each pianola roll are quite different also. So next, the other thing that you're going to be left with are the spools from inside the pianola rolls. It's what the paper was rolled onto. In my next series, I'll be showing you what to use these spools for. They also come in a variety of colours. They come in browns, golds, they come in a Bakelite plastic and in different shades also. And the colours I'm talking about are the ends, the end cap on each of them. So quite an attractive element, and we'll go further into what we can do with those. The other creative item or element that I like to save off the boxes are the labels. I even like the really grungy ones, depending on what sort of album that I'm creating. They have the names of the song that is on the roll. They also have whether it's a word roll. I save them whether they're grungy, a little bit stained. They really do add great element to your journals. I particularly like the patina on this one and the grunge effect. Now we'll take a bit of a closer look to the words on the rolls and how you read them. So from the bottom it says, I'd climb the highest mountain. So from the bottom to the top, if I knew that when I climbed that mountain, I'd find you. So from the bottom to the top is how you read the music on them. The print also is always different on each of the brands that you may find. The other thing that you may ask is how long is a pianola roll? So I've thrown this down the veranda. It's actually probably got half this length again on the same roll. So very lengthy. You can do an awful lot with this. So let's go in next, how to prepare them, ready for use in your junk journal. So I've got out my craft felt mat. I used to do a bit of quilting, so I'm going to use that to iron on. So your ironing board or my felt mat is what I'm using. So I've set the iron onto no steam, and it's also set on a wool setting. So I've got myself a bit of baking paper to use as a buffer, and I'm applying it over it, and I'm applying the heat gently, seeing that it's not too hot at first. You can always increase the heat gently if it's still got that bit of roll happening. We can see the difference, and it does increase the manageability of your rolls if you do iron them. Now before I cut them, I do tend to iron it first, because otherwise it can be a bit tricky if it keeps on curling back through your cutter. So I'm just ironing this along till I get to the end. Speed this up a little bit. So I'm just going to iron through to the end of the roll, and then I'm going to get my cutter out. Now I do choose to mark my cutter in an A4 sizing, so that's what I'm going to cut my papers to. This really helps for manageability and also storage, which you'll see at the end. So I'm going to slice all of the roll up into A4 size. So let's speed this up a little bit. I think you're going to get the general idea that we're going to slice this all up, put it in a pile, because we're going to iron this new paper pile flat. So it does get a bit of spring back into it after we've cut it. So I've popped our iron back onto the low wool setting. Tip for users, do a smaller pile. It does iron flat a lot quicker than if you do try and do a large pile all at once. So now, after we've done this sequence, we're left with beautifully flat papers in an A4 size, which I fold in half again, which I find is really easy just for grabbing out a piece at a time for my journals. So the perfect storage was from Kmart in the food section. It's a Perspex clear container which fits them in just perfectly. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Next time I'll show you how to break them down into the most usable pieces, and in episode 3 we'll create 10 fun creative projects with them, and you won't want to miss that. So hit the like and subscribe and follow along, and I'll see you in the next episode.